Hi everyone, I am Rajesh Kumar. I am having close to 16 plus years of experience in DevOps, SRE and DevSecOps. I have worked with more than 12 software organizations around the globe. I would like to introduce you all a DevOps School's flagship certification program in DevOps, SRE and DevSecOps. This program will get started in the weekends, so get enrolled. Please contact us on the phone number given on the screen, and in fact you can email us on the contact@devopsschool.com.
Yes. So question is very simple. What is DevOps? So first we'll understand what is DevOps, and then we'll see that why DevOps we have, what are the advantage benefits what DevOps is giving to not us but organizations, software organizations. What exactly we are trying to achieve through the DevOps, and then followed by we'll also discuss about what is DevSecOps and what is a SRE and stuff like that at a high level. We'll have a SRE separate session also. I mean, when I say separate session means SRE conceptual sessions will be separate. DevSecOps also conceptual sessions will be separate. But overall, first we'll try to understand the DevOps and then get going. So in order to understand the DevOps, you'll have to go in the past, okay? And you need to understand that how we were doing the software development and how we were running the software applications and so on. So if you look at these are the three parameters which I have opted for it: 1990s, 2000 and 2020. Okay, so if you remember that in 1990s we were running application in desktop. By the way, still we are running application in desktop, but don't think in terms of software engineers. Think in terms of let's say your family, maybe they are using WhatsApp. Now where the WhatsApp is running, so it's running somewhere in a data center, right? So like that, think in that context. So earlier the software we were running in a desktop, okay? And how much used to take time? Let's say if you want to buy hardware plus operating system plus applications and all these things together, if you want to set it up, might take 1 day or something. How we were consuming it? Console means Windows console, Linux console, you know, you had it. And then so how do we used to do the CDs delivery? I mean, how you used to do the release? So the format of the release, like you used to do that CDs. In fact, I have used floppy disk. In fact, I don't know how many of you have used it. So I have seen the floppy disk. After that, we got CDs, and we started delivering the software in CDs. So at that time, when we were having the platform like desktop, setup time used to take 1 day, consumptions console based, delivery in CDs. So if you talk about the software development release cycle, at that time, if you remember, you must be using Photoshop, Flash, Windows, MS Office, Microsoft MS Office, right? All this software. So how much time they used to take for the releasing the software? So if you remember correctly, they used to take at least 1 year for releasing the software, at least 1 year. Okay. So, and in this 1 year, they will plan for it, they will code for it, they will test for it, everything they will do that, and then they will release. And at that time, what was the architecture of the software? Monolithic. What is a monolithic then? That means all the features you put it in one software, one exe file, and then that you deliver it. Something like MS Office, if you installed in your desktop, that's a monolithic, because there is one package which you just simply install it, and every features which you get it, thousands of features, you have bold, italic, justification, this, that, and all kind of things. How all the features you have in one software only. So if you look at this here, a monolithic, if you have hundreds and thousands of features, and if there is a change in the one feature, that means you have to build every software monolithic, entire product. You have to test also entire product, something like that. Are you able to correlate all of you?
Yeah, yes, Rajesh.
So at that time, before 1990s, I will tell you, the software development used to take 5 years, 6 years also. Yes, that's true. Before 1990s. So if you go and ask that security services, no, or like so earlier the software development used to happen only for the defense industry and all this stuff. So they will take 5 years, 6 years, 7 years to develop a software. And by the time the software is out, probably that is out of context. So in 1990s, somewhere around, then scientists like software engineers and software scientists came together and said like that, let's do one thing. Let's create some model for software development. So they introduce one of the model which is very popular is waterfall model. All of you are comfortable with the waterfall model? Yeah.
Yeah.
So why we
Yeah.
had
Yeah.
waterfall model? Why we had a waterfall model? Because you know what? In waterfall model, what scientists decided, we'll follow this model because we want to do the release which we were doing earlier for 5 years. We want to reduce to 1 year. See, and then they started doing the software development in the monolithic way. So before a waterfall model, also there were network model, hierarchical model, many models were there. But ultimately we decided waterfall model for software development. So this is the software development. So in a software development waterfall model, what happens? The durations may be 6 months or 1 year, but first we do the requirement analysis and then close the requirement. After that, we design that and then close the design. Then after that, we code for it, then close the coding. Then we do the verification and then maintenance. So this was the waterfall model. So because we do the linear approach, it's like a sequence one by one. One we complete and then move to the second one. Because of that, it used to take a 1 year time. Okay. So in this waterfall model, we work on all the feature in one go only. So the question is why we opted for the new model altogether? And the reason is very simple. At that time in 1990s, we wanted to improve the quality release of the software. We wanted to improve the quality of the software. We want to reduce the release time also. That means from 5 years to 1 year we got it. And then same time we wanted to reduce the cost reduction in development and runtime also. So waterfall model was very popular model by the way. In fact, Microsoft practiced so many times, so many years actually. So it was a very good and effective model. So that was good. So are you comfortable so far, all of you?
Yes.
But you know, guys, suddenly then we got an internet. You know, internet. And when we got the internet, you know that what has started happening. So when we got the internet, then software which was earlier console based means laptop, desktop, or whatever it is, now it's become a browser based. Okay, so we started running a software on the browser. Accessing the software in the browser. So many changes has happened because of that. So many scientists started thinking about, how to reduce the data center cost. See, at that time when there were no internet, you were happy with a desktop. Each offices there will be 4-5 desktop locally installed, and then can use the software, no problem. But when we started running software which can be accessible through the browser, so software has to run in a data center, correct? So there was huge requirement for running the desktop. I mean, I'll not get into that discussion why we migrated to desktop to virtual server, but overall we wanted to reduce the software running cost actually. Okay, because desktop were very costly, and but virtual servers were very cheaper compared to that. How, where, why? This architecture discussions I will avoid it, but those who have a curiosity, you can just read some of the articles, blogs, and videos. So you will get to know. So we migrated from the desktop to virtual server to reduce the cost and setup time. So when we migrated to the virtual server, now we were able to set up application in 5 minutes. So what you will do that you'll create a VM, one virtual machines, and some of the software will be installed, and then within 5 minutes software is ready. You don't have to worry about your hardware, this, that, and all. Backend, you don't have to worry about it. And this server, the application which we are running in the virtual server, we were accessing through the browser. And how do we deliver the software? So we used to allow that download, upload, this, that, and all. And you know what? See, think simple. Let's say if you are, how many of you use Orkut? Simple logic I'll use. Orkut, anyone, one of you?
Yeah.
I don't know the age group of this batch actually. So I'm considering myself at the youngest one right now. So yeah, so Orkut, I have used the Orkut a lot actually. Trust me, I spend many hours every day, office hours for Orkuting actually. Free internet, free laptop, so Orkuting. Now they see if there is a problem in the Orkut, then it will impact millions of people, everyone, right? So it's not like, let's say you are using MS Office in your laptop. So if there is a problem, there is issues in the MS Office, then only you are getting impacted. No, it's not like that. Other people not get impacted. So because when you complain to Microsoft saying that, hey, I have some issues in my MS Office, this particular version, so they'll say, okay, no problem, continue using it, this feature. This feature is just avoid for 6 months. I'll do the patching and all and stuff like that. So why Microsoft said like that? Because they know that not all of their customers are impacted. Only some of the customers are impacted. But in an Orkut situation, if Orkut has some problem, and we all are using the same software, so it will impact the millions of users, right? It will impact everyone, in fact. Correct now? So you cannot say, hey, I'll fix it after 6 months. By the time Orkut will be closed actually. So what scientists said, hey, because we are using application based on the browser and everyone is connected to the same software, so you have to improve the quality of the software. Okay, and we have to reduce the release cycle also. And that is where then they started talking about, okay, let's do one thing. We'll release the software every 2 weeks. Okay. Then suddenly, earlier you were following the release cycle 1 year, then you have to reduce to 2 weeks. So then engineers started fighting about it, saying that, hey, how come you are saying we'll release in 2 weeks? Because there are thousands of features are there. Each feature, you change one code and then you will have to build entire code, then test entire code and then deploy entire code. It might take a hell lot of times. So then architecture said, okay, do one thing. Don't run in a monolithic way, change the architecture of the software itself. And then we change the architecture of the software, which is called SOA, service oriented architecture. That means multiple web server, app server, database server, all these things will be in a different locations. So, module by, so troubleshooting and upgrading, downgrading and all this thing will be easier. Then release cycle is become 2 weeks now, and we didn't started focusing on everything. Let's say there is 1,000 features. So these 2 weeks will focus only on the 10 features. It can be bug fixes or releases. So we are not doing everything. Earlier in 1 year, we were doing thousands of feature work, but in 2 weeks now we'll do 10, 20, whatever it is. So this is we migrated, we change ourselves. We change, platform got changed from virtual server, browser, console got changed to browser, release cycle got changed, architecture we had to change, because we have to change. If you don't change, then you will still be in a new event. So you have to change. So then scientists started talking about, okay, so this new situation, what would we call? Because earlier model we call the waterfall model. So what would we call? So they started saying that, hey, we'll call agile model.
If you would have any issues with our channel membership, you can drop an email to us at contact@devopssschool.com, or you can also unsubscribe from channel membership anytime if you don't want to continue or did not like the video.
Please be kind enough to like it, and you can comment any of your doubts and queries. We will reply to them at the earliest.
Thanks for watching.